No, I heard about a story with you and James O'Keefe where Project Veritas reached out to you. How did that end up with the story?
So James O'Keefe himself did not reach out to me. He was already gone, I guess, by that point. I didn't know anything about Project Veritas. I did see a momentary clip of them with with a previous story that they had, but I didn't know anything about them. I'm not a big politics guy. I don't know much about. I don't know. It's just not my thing. So I seen them just passing around the internet. But whatever the case is, they going back to what we were saying earlier. I went on a small podcast with, I think a guy named Gerard. And Gerard questioned me. He said, why did you get involved in this? Same question you asked me. What piqued your interest, right? So I answered that question talking about these screenshots from my friend's wife and much more. And that clip gets over 10 million views overnight. And now all of the media, all kinds of people want to know the full story. And it's like, okay, I had to be force-fed to the public for people to take action on this. But the first person that reached out that had some type of credibility, at least on the outside of what it appeared to be, was Project Veritas. I didn't know anything about them. I just saw they had a lot of followers.
So you've never heard of them before until they reach out to you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, other than I remember their logo from a video, but that's it.
Got it.
I don't know any of their inner dynamics.
You're not really a political guy. You're not in that world, where politics is something you're interested in.
Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't even know who James O'Keefe was. And so Project Veritas reaches out and they said, we'll come to Florida like within 24 hours. We'll come by tomorrow and we want that data. We want to investigate it. And I was like, okay, great. So Project Veritas jumps on a plane. They come to Florida. They take the data from me and they actually did commit to their word. So what happened is they grabbed the data. There was a lot of people on their team. I would say at least bare minimum there was 6 working at all times, going through each user individually, identifying who they were, and then confronting these people in real life, showing up where they were at with cameras, confronting them for being on this website. And that was going incredible. I was like, okay, I finally have a group of people that are taking it seriously. These people are going to get exposed. They're going to prison. Like, this is awesome. So a couple of weeks later, I go on the Sean Ryan show, which he's an awesome guy. Sean Ryan is an incredible guy.
Very good at what he does.
Yeah, and such a nice, kind-hearted, intelligent man. Like I would, and same thing with Sean Ryan. I'd never seen a podcast of his. I didn't even know who he was. I just
Well, he's very good at what he does.
I love him. Yeah. I love him. He's a great guy, and I was willing to go on his podcast, but the way that it was structured was Project Veritas was going to do their release, which was catching one of the predators from that database, which they did. They released their first video, which was it went okay for them, but not great because they were getting a lot of hate at the time for James O'Keefe. Sean Ryan then released early because he made an agreement with Project Veritas that they were going to have their second release after I went on the Sean Ryan show. Well, they had an interim CEO come in. Her name was Hannah, who then got on the phone with me and told me that she's looking for more of a tsunami, and this is not something that they want to continue with. So after identifying over 500 pedophiles and in a huge database of pedophiles, so there was way more work to do, way more people to confront, this interim CEO shuts it down. And then the Sean Ryan show, I end it by saying, we're going to be releasing more information, basically. And it never happens because the interim CEO shut it down. So all of that investigatory work that was done by all of the people at Project Veritas, it was for almost nothing, which was sad to see because those people really tried hard, and I respect them for it.
How much time did they put into it with you?
Oh, I mean, a lot of time. I would say
there's 500 of them, and they didn't want to do anything with 500?
They confronted a few of them in real life, but after I got shut down by that interim CEO, no.
And is that interim CEO still there or no?
I don't know. I would check if I'm kind of curious. Her name was Hannah.
Project Veritas CEO Hannah Giles quits. The chief executive of Project Veritas said Monday she stepped down from a role at Project Veritas. So who is Project Veritas? Is strong evidence of past illegality. Is interesting. I don't know this person. I don't know what she's done.
Yeah, I've never met her in person. I just talked to her on the phone once, and she told me that the story was not a tidal wave. But what I would say back to Hannah now, if she was watching this show, is, well, there's about 2 billion views on the internet to say otherwise. And she should have taken the story seriously because it would have not only helped Project Veritas and the brand at the time, But it would. The more important part is it would have helped a ton of people.
What brand was that?
Project Veritas. Like they were getting so much hate at that time for the owner James O'Keefe leaving or getting fired or whatever really happened. Like this would have been a perfect opportunity for them to restore their name and do something good in the meantime. And she just shut it down because she didn't believe in it for whatever reason.
After she stepped down, did anybody else ever reach out to you? Have you talked to anybody else or no?
Yeah, so some of the reporters that would, like, I have no problem with the reporters that helped me out. There was a few of them guys that really seemed to care and were very furious that they couldn't do anything about it. They actually moved on. Some of them work for the Crowder show now, the Steven Crowder. They've moved, they've kind of jumped all over the place, but them guys really cared about this project, especially when they saw how many children were on the site. Because remember, 4-year-old data approximately, some of these kids were 16 that we can now identify now. We see they're 18, 19, so they must have been children when they were members, and they were claiming to be kids at that time. So they were selling their bodies to adults for money on this website and much more.
Why do you think she didn't go live with it?
I wish I could tell you. I don't know. It's not a tidal wave, was her words.
That's not a tidal wave?
I mean, I don't understand why. I mean,
Do you remember the exact time when she told you it's not a tidal wave? I wonder what the timeline was previous to her stepping down. Would you know the month?
When did she step down?
It's December of 23.
December of 23. That would have been, so May 8th is when the Sean Ryan show released. I remember that because Penn Tester got a ton of traffic at that time. So the Sean Ryan show being released, and then that thing blew up pretty quick. So it would have been right around that time.
So it's 7 months later because December 11th when she stepped down.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Yeah.
Well, she's going to see this.
No, Hannah, I don't get it, but it is what it is. That the situation is being handled regardless. It's not like it got thrown away. Just Project Veritas wasn't the group that was able to solve it or investigate it further. I had to take other avenues, which thankfully I'm capable of doing now. But I didn't have the ability to do what I'm doing now prior to force feeding the public, which I didn't even mean to do either. It just happened that way.
Well, no, you're everywhere. I mean, at this point, there's nothing you can do about it. You're everywhere, and we see videos of you, 20 million, 25 million, 30 million, 10. You have so many clips that have gone all over the place.
Well, hey, guys, my name is Ryan Montgomery, also known as Zero Day. I'm proud to be part of the app Minect. If you have any questions regarding child safety, cybersecurity, or even any of the gadgets that you see me use all over the internet, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help you with any questions or concerns you may have. Stay safe.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.